Hi, I'm Eli.
Hi, I'm Kate, and we're here to teach you the easiest way to install Menard's split rail fence.
West Virginia's split rail is a rustic type of fence made with posts and rails that lap into the posts. Its uncomplicated design makes it ideal for defining a property line or boundary by creating an appealing visible barrier. The rails are cut from logs and are irregular in shape, which is why it's called a split rail fence. Before getting started, you need to determine the parameter, obtain any permits you need, and make a checklist of tools required. You should also ensure that any neighbors who share your property line are informed of your fence plans to avoid any conflicts.
First thing you'll need to do is to measure your property to see how much split rail fencing material you will need.
When defining the perimeter, decide where you want to put any openings or gates. Then measure the perimeter of the fence to get the length. Take the length and divide by the length of the rails to get the number of posts needed. Fence rails are generally around 11 feet long. You will also need to decide how many of your posts will need to be end or corner posts. It's important to call 811 before digging to identify any buried utilities. Your local utility companies will mark where any utility lines are buried. You should dig any holes that are within 2 feet of a marked utility by hand to avoid any damaging to the lines. Dig your first hole using a post hole digger or an auger. The holes should be 20 to 26 inches deep for a 3.5 foot tall fence. Using a level, make sure your post is plumb and then backfill with soil. Your post needs to be solid, so you should tamp and backfill every few inches. Now dig your hole for your second post just as you did for the first hole. Loosely place the second post in the hole and then insert the rails between the two posts. Once again, make sure your post is plumb and backfill the same way you did for the first post. Continue this process for each section of the fence, each time using the rails as a guide for where your posts need to be set. We chose to install a gate with this fence. A standard walk gate is 4 feet wide. Hardware kits can be purchased that include a latch and hinges. Before installing the gate, make sure to measure and level it. You should use an end post for each side of the gate. End posts differ from line posts as they are thicker, and the holes do not go all the way through them. There is no overlap on the rails on end posts or corner posts because the holes do not go all the way through. Complete your installation one section at a time using the same steps as before. Installing a split rail fence is a fairly simple process. Once installed, a split rail fence is an attractive way to represent the perimeter of your yard or property.